What is up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. And are you all ready to talk about the one pirate show in the universe that you don't hear pirates go "R"? But they do a lot of gum gum, a lot of shop shop, and a bunch of other awesome stuff because we are giving our final take here on the Amateur Otaku of the first season of Netflix's One Piece. We're gonna
You know
talk
why
the
they
good,
don't speak
the
of R?
bad.
Because they
Why?
prefer the seas.
First pun, check. So
It took me a minute.
we are talking the good, the bad, and the buggy of the first season of One Piece. No holds bar. The gloves are off. We're talking about everything that was happened that I covered in this 8 episode season. And if you stick around after a brief intermission, we're going to jump in and talk about season 2 and how it was confirmed officially that season 2 of Netflix's One Piece is on its way. So it's a big show, big live stream. If you want to have your questions or comments picked up and shared with the world, join us in the chat and we'll give you a shout out. We got the great crew here. We have Joel, we got Jamie, and we got Sanji Pun, Isaac Wolf. What's up, man?
It shall be interesting to see what this is cooking.
Hey, Mike, giving props. Appreciate you, Mike. Thank you for joining us in the chat. We got a lot to talk about, guys. A lot to talk about. I made it a point to say from the very beginning, if you have not seen the live action adaptation of One Piece, you shouldn't be here. You should be like somewhere else, apart from the shame that should destroy you. Exactly. You suck. Yes. You shouldn't be here. But if you've seen it, if you have thoughts, we want to hear every single, all of them. And I want to start with our guest, Joel. So, Joel, I don't know if you've seen it multiple times. I don't know if you've seen it just once. I don't know what your relationship with One Piece is. I know that you were one of the premier guests on the last discussion that they had up to episode 5. So, what is your final take after watching One Piece on Netflix?
I mean, well, I am a avid fan of One Piece, the anime. I never read the manga, unfortunately, but I've watched. I'm very far into the anime. I'm in the 800s. I'm like in the middle of Whole Cake Island, so
Nice.
I'm in there. I don't know. I plan on
Yeah, you are.
yeah. And I've been a fan. Yeah, a very long time. Actually, when I was in high school, so it was a long time ago for me. So it was a while back, and I loved it then, and I reconvened with it when a little bit after that to actually start from the beginning, and because I watched it sparingly, and it was a dub, and it was like the 4 Kids dub, and you know how those were. So yeah, and then and from there on, I've been watching it in Japanese, and so my whole experience, I've been fantasizing about a live action One Piece for me, because I know a lot of people don't like live action adaptations, but for me, I've been it's been in my mind for a long time, and even though I always knew it was like very hard to pull off, because this anime is not exactly what you would call an easy to adapt anime, unlike a Cowboy Bebop,
Or like ripe for
Right.
adaptation. Yeah.
Right.
or like
Yeah.
Rurouni Kenshin, which is like to me easier to adapt than, let's say, One Piece, which is
Yeah.
ridiculous in so many different ways. But I still always believed it was possible, because it always felt like to me it was like a anime version of like almost like an RPG. You grab your party members throughout, and everyone has a role, and it's like I love that aspect of it. I love it when you play RPGs, and I love it in this anime. So the live action, I was how would I say it? I was cautiously optimistic going in, very excited. I didn't know who the hell anybody was when they first got casted. I was excited for them, but I didn't know who they were. I may after the fact maybe I remember him or him from somewhere else, but it was very much brand new faces to add, just that you can just mold them into their characters. And I think that was probably my favorite part, is that this show adapted the anime better than any other live action adaptation, in my opinion, when it comes to anime, because it's like they got the little details right, and that's very, very important when adapting anything. And they went out of their way to do that, and I appreciate that. Every little thing really does matter because you need to keep the spirit of the character, and I thought they did a good job with that. And like when his hair, everybody's hair color was right. That's almost everybody basically, and that's important to me. I love that. I didn't mind.
I love how the hair color sealed the deal.
It did. I mean, but it's because you don't see that
That's
a lot.
amazing.
It's just little things like that that went a long way. Or the snails, what are they called? The moose, 10 mooshies or whatever. The
transponder snails.
And
Yes.
look, CGI was not bad in my opinion. A lot of the CGI was pretty good for a TV show. Could have been a bit longer. I would wish it was a little bit longer, but I mean, they gave us 8. I'll take 8. I wish it could have been maybe 10. And probably would have fleshed it out just a little bit more. There was some cuts because of it, and I understand that, and I'll live with it. But overall, I thought the first season was a major success.
Agreed. Jamie.
Yeah, I
What are
definitely
those
agree.
thoughts?
I agree with Joel. This show has been, I guess, just in terms of what I was expecting, it like completely blew it out of the water. Like, you know, with Netflix's history with anime adaptations, it hasn't been so great. So to see like the trailers and like some of the behind the scenes where they're talking about actually building out these sets, and just like the commitment that they have for the show and bringing Oda along for the ride is also incredible. I just like couldn't be. Yeah,
Incredible.
they kind of creep me out a little bit, but they're accurate. They're accurate. I like
They
it.
are accurate.
Yes.
Look at the eyeballs. Why do they have eyeballs? I love it.
Hey, that's how it is, bro.
I
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah,
know.
that's how I look.
It is.
You know what? Damn, we'll bring up the snails again later on. I just thought about something. But yeah, I love what they did with this. I think when we had mentioned, or when we were talking about this before the show actually came out, we were saying that Oda kind of has the advantage here now that he's written so much of One Piece. Going back to the beginning, he can like do some things better in terms of story if he felt like something was a little bit weaker than it should have been, or like implement more little Easter eggs now that he might have things like planned a little bit more far ahead. And you can definitely see that, like even with like I think Brandon was talking about, like, you know, when Shanks goes up against like the big fish or whatever, and it's like they do a much stronger hint towards whatever power. I haven't got to the point, so I have no idea what it is. But
they confirm,
you know,
it's Supreme King Hockey what he did.
Right.
That's like going out of your way.
Yeah. All the
So
way in
just-
the beginning to like show that.
Yes.
You're like, oh
yeah.
Yes.
It's little things like that that really make me happy that Netflix has, you know, finally done it, and they're getting the success they're getting and the praise that they deserve. So hopefully, you know, they continue to do that. They continue on this good streak. But yeah, I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to season 2.
Yeah. Isaac Wolf.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if you've been here, but you know, we're talking about our general thoughts of the season. So.
Sorry, it was something that I had to take care of while for a second, so I lost my train of thought. But well,
that's a big train.
Yes, it's always a long train, but I digress. My history with One Piece is that I have been, well, pretty much when I was younger, it was a sort of like a on off, because, well, I knew it would take a while to follow it, and we're mostly anime back in the day, but then when I started reading manga, it was more, and that's when I started to really kick off with One Piece. And it was back in the good old days when I was a lot younger, but And I'm
Wee little child.
yeah, exactly. And now I'm just following this show almost religiously to some extent, and I'm starting to fix. So I finally have the complete show on manga volumes again that I need
Nice.
to recollect. And Lord, oh Lord, it will take a lot of bookshelf to make that work.
Oh, yeah. You got to get the big books so that shrink the size of it a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, and know if you guys knew it, but it actually was was made a volume where you had every single One Piece volume in a single book, and I'm just,
Yeah, they're really long.
but why? Why?
Because
You can't even read
there's
that.
gonna be that one fan that's gonna be like, I'm gonna get it.
How do you read that though?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
you have to lay it down on the floor.
I don't know why, but the only way that works is that you consider it never-ending toilet paper. Like every time you go to the bathroom, you
boy.
rip a page,
Oh no.
you read it front to back, you do what you need to do, and then you move on. Because I
Oh,
don't think
man.
This,
I
the
don't think
size
there's
of
any
that
other
thing,
feasible way of reading that.
the size of that thing, last, if my memory serves me correctly, it was like 10 or 15 Stephen King books, and that says something.
Now, do your live-action adaptation. Did you
I
like
loved it.
Did you love it? He loved
I
it.
loved it. I was one of those
Loved
that
it.
were extremely skeptical about it, especially going to when I heard it was Netflix was doing it, and it didn't help when I heard that Tomorrow Studios was going to do this, the same production company that Cowboy Bebop, and we all know that end result of it all.
Mhm.
But the more I saw of this, the trailers, the photographs, everything, and just maybe there is something to this. And well,
Yeah.
we watched it, and just this is insanely well made. And like you all said, it has the spirit of the shows, but it's even if it's not as insane as the manga or anime. I mean, if you were as insane as the manga and anime, it was just how should I put it? Imagine the Three Stooges on extreme steroids, maybe. I don't know,
Sorry,
but it shall be interesting how they, like you all mentioned, stuff like. The whole cake arc is going to be interesting in case they come that far.
got a long way to go. Hopefully, figure it out by then.
I mean, they said that they have they want to do at least 12 seasons. So
If we're blessed, we'll get there.
yeah,
So let's save a little bit for the season 2 talk. And
yeah.
Brew and Move It says hi. Welcome to the chat,
Hello.
my friend.
What's going on?
So I love this. Like, I had a chance to see it early.
Nice.
And as soon as it came out on day one, I watched the entire season again.
Do I need to remind
and I
you
would-
who got you into One Piece, by the way?
Yeah, One Piece got me into One Piece. You just insisted that I read it.
You're welcome.
So I was very frustrated because when I watched it the second time, I wanted to hear what the Japanese voice cast,
I did.
and I didn't know how to figure it out. But I figured it out, and then I
Yeah.
watched like the last 2 episodes and it was like, bruh,
Awesome.
so good,
Yeah.
so good. But no, this is something that the only reason I haven't seen this season at least another 3 to 4 times is because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
Because everything, I just loved it. I think it's one of those projects where all the right decisions were made. Like, even if there's certain things that you could disagree with, certain things that weren't strong, you can tell that's the things that maybe fell a little flat for you. Like one of the conversations that I've had with Mike Thomas, our co-host, is that he never liked Arlong as a villain. He couldn't, and I kind of agree with him. He's kind of like a villain that falls a little flat. But the decisions that they made to favor the characters, whether or not some people might agree with it or not, to me, I preferred that because by the end of this season, I am in love with the journey of all 5 Straw Hats. And I cannot wait to voyage with them, which is kind of what the goal of the series was, right? It's like, how do I get people on board to follow this crew of dreamers, right? And to wherever it is they're going to go, the Grand Line and beyond, right? So I feel that this season not only did that, but also did it in a very fan-centric way. Like this season is a school on what real good fan service is. Like fan service is not a cameo. Fan service is not a name drop. Fan service is recognizing how big this world is, respecting how big the world is, respecting that the audience that's watching the show is not stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, and all of these things are like.
Thank you, Mike, by the way.
That's a lot of toilet paper.
Jesus.
Yes. I mean, it would look cool. You would just never be able to read it.
It'll look good on the walls. Like, what is that? That is the Holy Grail. We don't touch it. We just look at it. But yeah, it's like this show was great. It was phenomenal. It was breathtaking how good it was, how funny it was, and. So in the beginning, you can feel a little like doubtful of certain things that they did, but as the show progresses, it kept winning me over because not only did the characters land, but also the big moments that you expect to land. Like tears fell in multiple times. Oh. I have multiple favorite scenes. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like it's like we were talking about the Continental and the Shatter After on a different yesterday, and one of the things that we talked about is that 3-episode series is great, but what feels the most John Wick is just the first 10 minutes and the last 45 minutes of the entire series. Like everything else in the middle kind of falls a little flat, right? But this never stops feeling like One Piece, and that's what I loved about it the most. And to not keep beating an old dog, right? Like we all agree, we all liked it, we all loved it. Let's go into the conversation a little bit deeper, and we got a couple of things we want to talk about. And who's the season 1 MVP? That's the first one. Who was the one character that you said, "Damn it, this is perfect"? Every scene he was in, like, you know what I mean? Isaac, if there was a character for you that just stole the show in every single scene, and he's the MVP of the season, who is that character? Or who's that actor?
That's almost an impossible task because I actually think everyone is downright perfect casted. But if I had to pick, can I pick more than one? It's,
see, I only allow it because that's what I'm doing. But I'm only allowing it. See, Mike just said his thing. I don't disagree with you. Mike said his Nami. That's for him. See, I'm going to allow it, Isaac. So, Isaac, I'm going to allow it because mine is not that I'm picking 2. Is that these 2 characters are tied. They're tied in that position. So they have to be tied. They can't be like a 1, 2, and 3. You can make it up to say they're tied.
Okay. Garp, Luffy, and Buggy.
Okay.
Ooh. Nice.
With the Sanji being a close second.
Nice.
Okay. I like
nice. Very nice.
Sure. You can. It was a really funny contrast having a Scottish Garp with a.
That was great.
I loved it.
Yes. That was great.
Cares about the parents.
Yes. And every time he got angry, it was like,
yeah,
Mike, they were all tied. I don't know. Maybe there's more MVP slots in
The
Sweden.
show
I
is
don't know
the
how it works.
MVP. It's hard to pick one.
Yeah, but those were my. But Garp
Okay.
he was. How should I put it? He had a split personality, or should I say,
He was crazy.
he was
He
crazy.
was.
He's as crazy
Well,
as
he's
he is in
always
the
nuts,
show.
though.
Yeah.
See, now that you mentioned
He
Garp,
was
let's
just
talk.
perfectly nerfed. I mean, they
was.
have their more insane version in the manga and anime where he throws
Well, I don't think he's
cannonball
nerfed
that
though,
I
because you got. Well,
I was
see,
not say that he was nerfed. It was just they weren't going all that insane in the live action.
Mhm.
That's what I'm gonna say. That doesn't mean
See,
he's
that's what I-
nerfed power-wise. Considering
Well-
how many but I digress. The whole when him starting to shout and just starting then to laugh his ass off, yeah, because Luffy managed to reflect that cannibal, as I mentioned in the
Yes.
previous stream. That's just Garp in a nutshell.
yes.
And the whole thing that when Seth, what's the cook's called again? Isn't it Seth? No,
Seth.
I'm yes.
Yeah, Captain Chef
It's the-
Seth. Yeah.
Yeah,
from
and
the,
he was
from
just.
the from the
I have
Giant
a
Pirates order.
I have a steak that I can give you a good glass of wine and just. How about that steak? See, I'm just. This is Garp.
Yes.
This is
Yep.
Garp and Luffy. Well, how should I put it? Before this was released, we have an Inaki actually met Oda and talked with him about the role and all that. Yes, and
Yeah.
Oda downright said, "I chose you because you made me laugh, and you're born to play Luffy." And I'm just, oh, as an actor, that's probably the highest compliment you can get. And his energy is pure Luffy, and I will have to say, like Leo from Geeking Good says, it's funny how Buggy the Clown gets a better Joker laugh than Jared Leto's Joker in Suicide Squad.
It's sad, but it is what it is.
Yep.
But yeah,
No, he does a great job with everything. Like Buggy was great. Buggy was great. Luffy was great. I gotta agree. That moment, that clip of Oda just putting the hat on Luffy's on Inyaki's head is like it's one of those little things that it's not a big deal, but it's the biggest deal in the world. You know what I mean? Especially for a fan. When you see this happening, you're like, okay, this is like real. You know what I mean? Like this guy's involved. Like Mike says on the chat, Inyaki's just Luffy in real life. Protect the boy at all costs.
Probably more
Yeah,
so
like-
than even in the show. It's weird if you watch it like on Instagram.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
just
they
great.
had
It's just great.
an interview with the cast, and one of the question was who was the most in character of recordings, and everyone just pointed toward Inaki as right on cue at the same time, and just laughed at it, and just even they agree.
The and the thing and like you say with Garp, right? Is the whole thing is Mr. Mystery here on the chat. What's up? So the whole thing with Garp though is like I love how do you guys feel about the inclusion of Garp early? Because if you remember, if I'm not mistaken, spoilers or for an idea, because nobody's gonna understand what it is if they're show only, is we don't really get that encounter between Garp and the Straw Hats till Enos Lobby, which
It's
is
about, there are about 300, 400 plus chapters. I can't recall.
well, yeah. So it's far away, but I
Yeah.
like the idea. What did you guys think of that change? At least
Me-
you, for example, Joel, that you've known about it. So, and you, Jamie.
Go, Jamie, first go.
Yeah, me personally, I kept thinking like, should I know who this is? Like, who's this
100%.
guy? Because
100%.
I'm like not that far into One Piece as a series, but I've watched like over 100 episodes. So it's like I feel like, when it comes to the adaptation, I should know everybody that I'm looking at, but that was not the case. So
That was
I
like
was
the
slightly
surprise.
confused. Yeah, yeah. But I do like
Yeah.
his inclusion from what it sounds like talking with you, Brandon, and Joelle. It seems like introducing him here a little bit earlier on kind of just continue to make some more of those connective threads, like what I was talking about earlier with the what was the power,
The hockey and all that.
hockey.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought Baki.
Yes.
The hockey, right? So I
You know
don't
what? It
mind
could
it.
be no.
I don't mind it. I like that he was a more present mentor for Kobe as well, or Colby as well.
Mike, stop
That was
trolling.
cool. It's I know it's like crazy. I have to preface it like I've seen 100 episodes, but in comparison to the series, it's like, oh, that's the beginning.
Yeah. So Joe.
Yes.
Haven't haven't told her.
Oh, I'm
MIP.
sorry. Did you
Yeah.
finish, Jamie?
Oh no, yeah, I was done.
Damn it, I. Go, Joe.
I'm sorry, I got sidetracked. What was the question again?
The Garp being early
Oh,
as
Garp,
opposed
right.
to waiting for Enos Lobby.
I know a lot of people had issues with it, like because
Yes, yes, yes.
especially like fans of like
Yeah.
that was probably their biggest complaint. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Oda's biggest complaint if he had to pick. Why? It's like I don't see why we had to do that, but I think in terms of like American style of writing and TV show writing, it worked as a B plot, and it helped their storytelling so they can spend less time in certain places. Like maybe to me it was to save money, but whatever. The point is that that's what they did, and it didn't bother me at all. It didn't bother me at all.
Okay.
Like I know Garp from the show. Obviously, I've not. It's not spoiler for me because I already knew going in who he was and all that. But it didn't bother me. It didn't bother me at all. It was funny watching him. Like the whole time, it was like him messing with him, basically to test him to see if he's where he's at.
Yeah.
And it's like, are you ready to do this? Because I know I'm never going to change your mind, but it's gonna get much harder from here. That's basically what he's trying to tell him. But I thought he looked perfect as Garp.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that ship was perfect. The Marines look great.
Like the jacket over the shoulders.
I
like the whole thing, bro.
They gave him the dog hat. That was like
yes.
I'm like
I was a little goofy, but
it was goofy. The whole show was goofy.
But it works, damn it.
But you gotta trust it, and they did. He didn't wear it the whole time, and not that he needs to. Look, he doesn't always wear the whole time.
Right. It was when he was like in the zone, like, let me put on my puppy hat.
Yeah. Like,
get ready to kick some ass.
He's like,
give me my puppy hat. That's gonna be the new thing now. It's like, give me my puppy hat.
I'm gonna do my. How do they not sell puppy hats? They need that.
Yeah, I would buy it.
Yeah.
Yes, agreed. See, and the reason why I like
Invincible, but I trust you, Mike, on this one.
Now the reason I love this switch is because it emphasizes on a subplot that really takes a long time to build in the series.
Mm-hmm.
That I like that they're making it a point to do it now, because one of the biggest things in One Piece, right? It's the idea of the world government and how they operate, and how a lot of times the way they operate is completely against what the Straw Hats believe is right, but also what most of the world think it's right. There's a selfishness, there's a greed, there's a means of control of society, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's almost dictatorial in a way. Like the world government comes to be some type of big enemy. And I like the idea of Garp being in the beginning because it justifies the Kobe subplot. Because now we're seeing Kobe and Luffy develop more or less at the same time, which happens in the books.
Mhm.
But
Yep.
the
With a
Kobe
similar
thing,
mentor too.
right? The Kobe thing is like hinted at. You spend some time here and there, and it's not till Kobe's fully developed that you actually spend a lot more time with Kobe. So I like the idea of that rivalry slash growth journey being there, because not only are we exploring Kobe's growth, but they're using it as an excuse to completely shed a light on how the world government operates.
Mhm.
Like, we're not waiting to Enos Lobby to try and understand how the world government does the things that they do.
Right.
Like, we're already seeing seeds of corruption with the thing that we're seeing with with um with the weird mouse captain that we see
Yes.
in Arlong Park,
I was
right?
just gonna
Like, you
say
see a
that
little
guy.
bit of the fact that if you see corruption at a captain's level, we're going to see more. Yes, I have to agree. Kobe, like Mike says on the chat, Kobe was worthless in the first few episodes of the anime. This show uses them so much better. 100% agree. And but you can't have growth with Kobe because Kobe's growth in the books is directly linked to Garp.
Mhm.
So I like the fact that they
Ah.
made that wise choice of going, okay, if we want to use Kobe this way, we have to put Garp early. We gotta put him in there because he's the only reason that Kobe gets to that height where he can maybe face with Luffy toe to toe or see with Luffy eye to eye, how he sees eye to eye with
Become
Luffy at the
peers.
end of the season.
Because right now, definitely not. Not really.
Yeah, because I do love and it leads to that great line where at the end, after Kobe delivers the wanted poster, Luffy goes, "Go be a good Marine," and he
Mhm.
goes, "Go be a good pirate." Like, the idea that they're both boosting themselves, supporting themselves.
Yeah.
I love how that's gonna hopefully continue to be a thread that's
Through
gonna
line.
go throughout the season. So I'm actually very excited for that. Now, Jamie, what was your MVP?
My MVP. I feel kind of basic saying this, but it's definitely
Just do it.
Zoro. Although I do have to give an honorable
Nothing
mention
wrong with
to
that.
Sanji. I listed Sanji as most improved. I feel like the way that
Most improved.
yeah, it's weird because it's like not having watched the anime for a little bit, I kind of just revert back to basics of like, oh, Sanji, he really likes women. And he's kind of a little cringe about it. But then, like, watching the show again and seeing like how he interacts with everybody, it's like he's a much deeper character than that. So like, you know what? His perception in my mind has changed once again. So he's most improved. But Zoro, he's my MVP.
Fan
Zoro
favorite.
was amazing.
He
Yeah.
was.
Zoro was amazing. And this guy playing Zoro is just
He is good.
And it's so
great.
funny
He's
that he's.
great.
It's so funny that he has a history on joining on live action
anime.
manga adaptation.
Yeah.
He's in
Yeah.
the Rurouni Kenshin one, in a JoJo Bizarre Adventure one. He's in what was it?
Sensei.
The Full Metal Alchemist one as Scar.
But damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh Jesus.
yeah,
And
he being around.
He
And
know how
he's
to
in
do
that.
it.
He's in that weird live action anime adaptation that they did. That releases this year that had Famke Jensen and I do believe Sean Bean. I can't recall the name.
Saint Seiya. That came out already.
Yeah, that one.
He's in the Saint Seiya movie?
He's the lead.
Yes, he's the lead.
Well, hot damn. This guy's been a okay, bet.
Mhm.
Respect.
He's a
100%
veteran.
respect.
Perfect for Zoro.
Yeah.
He's been on the block.
That was probably his best role. Let's be real.
It is 100% a real award.
It is.
Yes, I agree. Most improved. So
I've
Sanji
known most
actor is-
improved before.
Sanji actor had Taz. I can't recall his last name.
oh no,
He
just call him
showed some
Taz.
He showed
Oh,
some
yeah.
real dedication on social
yeah.
media regarding his prep for this role. And one last thing regarding Garp. I'm a bit disappointed that they didn't say Fist of Love, but anyway.
They didn't what?
He called his punches to Luffy Fist of Love. He calls them that.
Yes. Well, you know,
Some things get cut.
I'm okay without that. I'm okay. He showed it.
Yeah.
So, Joe, who was your MVP or your MIP, your most improved player?
I don't know if I have an MIP, but it was hard because I think they faithfully adapted a lot of different characters, in my opinion, really well, surprisingly well for some. But I think I have to give it to Luffy because, and not that others weren't as good, but they had to hit with Luffy, and Luffy is the most animated of the five of them, aside from maybe Usopp. You had to hit with Luffy, the person, whoever was, he's gonna carry the show. And if you don't nail Luffy, you might not have the show you have now. And then Yaki,
Agreed. 100% agreed.
Like, he got it. The kid got it. Like, he got the smile, he got the charisma. He stayed faithful to the character and all aspects of it, and he looks great. He does it. He looks like fucking Luffy. He does. I mean, he really does. Yeah. And man, the costume department did a great job. Look at this.
Oh yeah. The costume department was beyond amazing. And the whole thing of them going through the actual manga covers,
I love
and
that.
using them for and using them for the inspiration for all the different dress robe changes, costume changes.
Yeah, costume changes.
Yes, it all has their inspiration in actual literature and actual drawings and actual paintings by Oda. Like it's phenomenal. And I'm gonna be honest, I loved Iñaki as Luffy. Like everything feels Luffy, everything he does. And it's a grounded Luffy, right? We can't say that it's the same as the books, we can't say the same anime. It is the perfect Luffy for live action.
Yes.
Now it's funny because I was thinking about this the other day, and 110%, Mike. Outfits, costumes, clothes, drip.
Man, they were incredible.
They had it all.
It was great. The one thing I want, because I could understand why this didn't happen in the first season, because it's all about them coming together as a family crew unit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you really don't get there till it's like you don't get there till Nami joins. You know what I mean? Like because Nami kind of like brings the whole crew together and actually allows them to really come together 100%. Right?
Adult in the room.
Right. So I kind of want to see her slap the shit out of Luffy when he does something stupid. You know what I mean? Like part of me wants that animeism into. Yeah. Like the idea that all of them will kick and punch him and just and he just has to come over all bludgeoned to death. Like, I'm sorry. Like the fact that there's TikToks out there that Luffy is the only captain whose crew just beats the shit out of him whenever he does something stupid.
Yeah.
Like, of course, I may never get this. I'm not gonna say it's a peeve of mine. I may never get it, but I would love to get some of that.
Yeah.
But it's like, but beyond that, you're right. He's perfect as Luffy. He's perfect.
Maybe they'll get there. We'll see. Over time, they can add.
Hopefully.
They can start playing around a little bit with certain things and see if they get away with it. And I'm down with that. I get what you're saying. Those are little anime things, though, in general. So
and you see in the manga, and like in real life, you'll be like, these people hate this guy, but it's like
no. That Naruto does it. If you watch Naruto, they just don't. They're not as abusive, but they are. They can be, So
they like Luffy's bleeding by the end of.
He's got bruises everywhere.
Now, she's. Amen, Mike. Nami is mommy in more ways than one.
Mike is thirsty.
Amen.
On the chat.
Now, Mike. Now,
hold on.
I'm going to give out my MVP because I have one. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to go I was gonna do a tie, but I'm gonna retract. I'm just gonna say the one, and I'm gonna go with Sanji.
Nice.
Sanji was just like, it's funny because when I think about the show, I don't want to go back to the beginning. I want to go back to watch the episodes that Sanji's in. You know what I mean? Like I want to
Yeah.
go like I want to watch it episode 5 onward. Not
Mhm.
because they're all together, but Sanji is just, I love how they were able to conserve the way he simps over every single beautiful woman that he sees,
And the team.
but without
that's
making it
good.
creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It's not creepy. It's still kind of cringe, but thankfully not creepy. I'm like, that's acceptable. You can
Right.
take
Because it's never because because the whole thing about Sanji that I've always loved is that can he hint at being a little perverted sometimes? Yes. But it's never necessarily that. You know what I mean? He's always like he's an admirer of beauty. You know what I mean? And he does it with all women, not
Oh,
just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
not
that's
be-
the impressive part.
you know. But I'm pretty
Love it.
confident if one says yes, he won't say it to everybody else. But that's a whole kick spoiler. I'm gonna shut up. But no, I love Sanji. I love his groove. I love the rumblings of him hating on Zoro and disagreeing.
Yeah.
A lot of people complained that there wasn't enough banter between them, but I like that we saw the seeds of that.
Yeah.
We saw little bits of that. Like you
Yeah.
get that little bit,
They
like
really
whenever
like
they're
each other
getting
in
ready
that.
to go to Arlem Park, they're
Yeah.
kind of debating about Nami, and he goes and Sanji tries to defend Nami. When they're fighting, they're like making fun of each other.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you
Throwing
look
them off
tired. You
it.
might want to rest. Like, yeah, like
I
talking
loved it.
bullshit or whatever. Like
Yeah.
that's was pretty cool. What's up, Demetrius?
Dude.
Now the biggest thing is that I loved about it also is the fact that I got Sanji to say Collier, Mouton shot, like with the accent and everything. He also had the correct until that moment. It's funny you say that because he reacts that way until the very moment that he actually calls out his techniques to take down Kurobi. To me, that was great. It was perfect. And then he goes, yeah, great fighters call out their finishing moves. And Sora just has to say, oh, you're going to fit in just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I get why you're here. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, basically.
That's why. Right. And of course, he cooks amazing. But I also kind of like the idea about I want it to develop to a point where Sanji constantly talks about poisoning Zoro's food. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty confident he does it, and Zoro just builds tolerance because he's Zoro. It's amazing. But no, Sanji to me was great. Like all the characters are great. I love Luffy. I have mentioned what I wanted before. I want to say Zoro, but everybody's talking about Zoro. So I figure I give shout to Sanji. Sanji was Taz as Sanji is phenomenal.
Yep.
And like all the characters, I never missed anything from any of the characters. Does that make sense? No. I didn't miss like a quality. I didn't miss a mannerism. It was all there. And I like the idea my favorite thing about Taz and Sanji is he's talking normal to everybody. And as soon as he notices a beautiful woman, I love how you can see that something just flips. Like there's a flipping of a switch in the way, like he turns his face a little bit and starts smiling. You know what I mean? Like it happens when he starts talking to Nami. Right. It happens when he starts talking to Nami's sister.
Yeah.
So I like that. I want that to continue to go. I'm going to say I'm Straw Hat now.
I'm also happy, dude.
Beautiful.
Wow,
beautiful. Hey, man, trust me, you will not regret anything. It's in the public record now, bro. Don't worry. It's a great race. It's a great race. It's worth the run. Wait, the voyage will swim. So, those were our MVPs. Now, I think we kind of talked about, I don't think we have a gripe, so I'm not even going to waste time with that. And I don't think any of the characters disappointed us. So it could be a fight scene, but what was your favorite scene of the season? Or favorite moment? This one, you
man.
don't need to pick just one. If you want to say two real quick, say two real quick. But what was your favorite moment of season 1?
That's a tough question, sir.
I'm gonna go first.
Go ahead.
It's 2, and it's definitely Luffy helped me.
Yep. That's my one.
You know, like,
Yep.
like I love this because this is the one scene that Mike and I kind of like didn't argue, but like talked about it because it didn't land for him as it landed for me.
Mhm.
Because it was serious, it was emotional, and it was kind of goofy at the same time because it did pay homage to the book 100% exact, with the
Mhm.
exception that it was at nighttime. But they pay homage to
Yeah,
the book and they
a lot of
pay
nighttime.
homage to the anime. They do it almost to the T, which to me was, I was expecting them to do it. I was missing the fact that they didn't use the overtaken music, which, by the way,
Oh my
we
god.
talked about the music department. We talk about the music department.
Yeah.
The music, the soundtrack for the show has kind of won me over.
It's good.
I've grown to enjoy it. And Luffy's Mike says, Luffy screaming, cut the drama tension. I'm sorry. See, that's
It
fine.
always does,
It's
though.
okay to disagree, Mike. It's okay to
Yeah.
disagree, Mike.
It's very Luffy
but yeah,
to
like,
do that, though.
yeah, exactly. And it's funny because any other character wouldn't do that,
No,
but Luffy would.
it's specifically a Luffy thing.
Yes.
Mm.
But the idea that he said, let's go, and you got Zoro, Luffy, and Usopp just going, bet.
Yeah.
Let's go. You know?
I love that scene so much.
Yeah, that was great. That was so great. Now, I think my favorite after that one, I don't want to number it, is when Zoro pledges his allegiance to Luffy.
I did like that.
That scene right there, bro. Like because again, it's not just what happened with Mihawk, right?
Mhm.
We got to go back to episode 1. Baroque Works tries to recruit Zoro,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
says no. The Marines try to recruit Zoro, and Zoro says no.
Mhm.
Luffy lets Zoro go, like releases him from captivity, and Zoro says, "You know I'm not going to join you, right?" And he goes, "Okay, just go do your sword thing. It's totally fine."
Mhm.
Like the idea that he can see that this kid, because we know that Zoro is older than Luffy, it's a thing, right?
Mhm.
But that this kid respects Zoro as a warrior, but also as a dreamer, and is willing to support his dream. And if Luffy and I love the idea that if Zoro joins Luffy's crew, Zoro is not a tool in Luffy's arsenal, like any other captain would see it, right? No, he's a fellow dreamer, and he knows that Luffy will support his dream. And the moment of truth was the whole fight with Mihawk. That even though Luffy was scared that he was gonna lose, that Nami over here, Mommy Nami talking logic over here, that hey, that's not gonna go right. You may want to stop Zoro, but he couldn't get in the way of his dream. You know what I mean? The fact that Zoro could see that, and that emotional payoff there, where he goes, "You are my captain, and I'm gonna follow you to the end." And the fist on the, like literally Sasageo, right? Like Attack on Titan, like. Yeah, that moment there is like, yo, like that
Yeah.
just landed. You know what I mean?
See?
Like it's one of those moments that they had so much buildup,
Yeah.
and in the way it landed, it was just.
See, if you think about it, Luffy's secretly genius because what he implemented was reverse psychology.
He
He's
did.
like, oh, okay, I didn't want you anyway. That's fine. And he's like, wait, hold on a minute. You need me.
But you know what's the best thing about it? Luffy doesn't know what reverse psychology is.
Yeah, true. He's like, okay, sure.
Just let them live. Yeah.
Yeah, but those were the two moments for me.
No,
What'd you
that's
got,
a good
Joel?
picks.
One of them was Help Me. That scene was hit
Yeah.
hard for me. I really loved
Yeah.
that scene, and because I love the scene in the
Yeah.
anime, I felt like you would. The show wouldn't have worked if you didn't hit that. If you hit that,
Yeah.
if you hit that the right way,
Like that was a decisive moment for the show. Like that
you had
needed to
land
hit.
it right.
Yeah.
It had to hit, and
Yeah.
if you didn't hit, it probably wouldn't have landed as well. And they pulled it off. Everybody was in position. The shot. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it. They even had Sanji smoking, even though it was like twice the whole fucking show. But you get over that little things like that. I'll take it.
Hey, but he smoked though.
But he
See, that's the
smokes.
one thing I was okay with. He did it.
They did it. They did it twice, and I mean,
They paid the fines and let
Yeah.
him smoke on television.
Yeah, they got it. He's a chain smoker in the damn anime and manga. But yeah, little things like that. You had to pull that off. I think they did it very well. That was one of my favorite spots. But I know there's one moment. There's a lot of moments, but just so we know, not here all day. The moment that really hit me is when they first get the Mary, the going Mary, and you hear the music playing in the background. I'm like, that's it.
Oh yeah,
That's all I needed.
We
I was
are.
like,
Yeah,
yes.
they play We Are.
Yeah.
Mike, stop trolling. We all understood your opinion. We agree to disagree.
You can say that
Stop
about
it.
the whole show. That's not really the point. But
No, but yeah, bro. Yeah, that was like the one little piece of music they actually grabbed.
yes.
And I'm gonna be honest. Out of all the repertoire of openings and music, if you're gonna grab something,
That's
what you're gonna grab.
Yeah.
That's the one. So
I wish there
agree.
was more hints at the original score.
Yeah.
Because I do love the One Piece score because there's a lot of great hits.
Yeah.
Mike trying to start fights here. Mike just trying to start fights. Okay, bet Mike, bet. Isaac, favorite moment or scene of season 1?
Well, I know I mentioned that one before, but it's one of them is the Garp throwing cannonball at Luffy because it's just so funny. And the other one that hasn't.
I am so excited that got in though, because that's legendary, bro.
Yeah,
the Garp throwing cannonballs is freaking legendary.
Yeah, and honestly, it probably is the introduction of Buggy,
Buggy,
which is just
at the end of episode 1.
Yeah.
No, scratch that. Buggy is a favorite, but it's not the favorite. It's the introduction of Mihawk, which is just
he was pretty hot.
Speaking of looking like it's directly from the.
I don't know, but she's speaking facts here, bro.
That's nice. I agree, Isaac.
Speaking of looking like they are straight from the manga, well, Mihawk is a prime example of that, and
very much so.
Dracul Mihawk.
And the
100%.
Dracul.
The fact that I don't know if you guys knew that, but supposedly there's a YouTuber, I can't recall the name, but he had a chance to interview the showrunner, and showrunner said that one of the most expensive shots for this season was when Mihawk sliced that both in half.
I could see that.
Oh, wow.
I can see that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes.
And just the whole thing with him, you can see him slaughtering Don Krieg's fleet on his own with just that ridiculously sized sword. And honestly, I know that I spoke about this in the previous stream, but I'm glad that Krieg was just a cameo. His fight in the manga just feels like a filler for me.
No.
Honestly.
And that's one of the many, I agree, that's one of the many wise decisions that the showrunners made, is that, okay, we need, how do we move things along? Let's eliminate Don Krieg. Let's introduce Arlong at the Barity. But they go out of their way to introduce Mihawk earlier just to get that cameo for Don Krieg in. And for anybody saying, but Brandon, you said that fan service is not just a name drop. Well, before you say that, damn it, if you know the books, you know that when Mihawk shows up at the Barity, it's right after destroying Don Krieg's fleet. Like, that's actually what he's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's all, it's similar to the Baroque Works number 7 presentation. Like, it's unseen history we know it's there. Mm-hmm. So it pays off very, very well. But Mike says on the chat, young Luffy stabbing his face was I am actually very surprised they pulled it off.
Showed that.
Yeah,
that they showed it.
That made me cringe.
that
And
was
like, oh
like-
my god, kind
it
of
was-
weird.
But that's one of those moments that when you see it happen, it's like, okay, if they're doing this,
They'll go
then
there. Yeah.
yes, we're gonna go everywhere else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
It's a
awesome.
child.
Jamie.
Yeah, that's why I was like, oh my god, like that was painful. But yeah, my favorite moment, Joel kind of stole it. It was the
Damn it,
Maui-
Joel.
My bad.
Maui saying,
What was
like help me, that moment. But I also, oddly enough, my MIP gets my other moment, which is Sanji's backstory and
yeah.
like the chef eating
Seth.
his leg. Seth.
That's a great
I was
change.
so close. Yeah,
That's a
Seth.
great change.
Oh,
So
was that
funny
a
thing is,
change? Because I was about to be like,
it
I don't remember
wasn't.
this happening.
No,
That did
no.
not happen.
But that's the thing. It's not a change.
It is a change.
Because in the anime, that's what happens.
no, that's not how he lost his life.
No, in
though.
the manga. In the manga, I'm sorry. In the
Oh,
manga,
okay.
that's what happens. In the
Um,
anime, they changed it to
Okay.
show that he cut his leg or whatever.
Yeah.
So in the anime, they changed it that he cut
No,
his
he
leg
lost
trying
it
to
in the
save
chain.
Sanji.
in the water.
Right.
Pulling
Right. That's what they
Sanji
did in
out.
the anime. But in the book,
Mhm.
that's what he does. He
Oh,
eats his
okay.
leg.
that was crazy.
And
That
that's
is
funny
nuts.
because, yeah, in regards to the music, Mike, I think interviewed for Collider one of the sound supervisors or whatever,
Yeah.
and one of the things that they talked about is that this show is based on the manga. It's not based on the anime, which is part of the reason why they didn't use anime music,
Mhm.
Oh.
I get that.
which
Mm.
makes sense, but at the same time is like, yeah, call it what you want.
Yeah.
But in a way, it makes sense to me that they still use We Are, because We Are at this point has transcended the anime kind of. It's like the One Piece theme for whoever knows anything about One Piece, right?
Mhm.
So that is a fair statement. But yeah, these are.
I like.
I love the fact that none of us mentioned a fight. We all just talked about actual moments, because again, that's what makes the show great, right? Like One Piece is not just about the epic battles, which there's plenty of,
So many.
but it's because it's the relationship that the characters build with each other and with other people that they meet throughout their journeys. And I think, guys, that this was a phenomenal season 1. What a great foot forward. And
not for Seth.
I'm not even. What was that?
I said not for Seth.
Damn. Best broom forward. Now I don't want to say that I expect bigger and better things. I don't want to say that because I think that this was so good
it was.
that I just wanted to I want them to be bigger and better. Yes, because again, the story gets bigger and better. But to me, my biggest hope for season 2, just throwing this out there, is that they maintain this level of detail and quality.
Absolutely.
That is my biggest
number one
hope.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, as long as the care doesn't go away, I can forgive certain things that the budget costs them to hold back on or whatever. I can forgive those things. You know what I mean? But beyond that, I don't know. It's just amazing.
See, I think it could get better though, Brandon. I think it could get better.
I don't disagree. I expect it to. I just don't want it to get worse.
Right.
I want it to
I agree.
maintain.
I agree.
I want quality control to stay there. You know what I mean? And then just make it better.
Ask me why it could get better though.
Let's go.
Why can it get better, Jamie? Why?
We haven't introduced the best character in the show.
Oh.
Tony Chopper.
You know what?
Segue.
How about we seal this deal here? Guys, we've done the thing. We've given our final take. We all love One Piece. We talked about our favorite moments. We talked about our MVPs and MIPs. And we don't have really big gripes. We just love this show. And we can't wait for it to come back. And it is officially renewed for season 2 on Netflix. So, you guys, this is awesome. We don't know when we're going to get it, but we're going to get another season of live action One Piece, and I cannot wait. We have talked about our thoughts here of One Piece Season 1. If you love what we do here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast, make sure you click on that like button, you subscribe to our YouTube channel, and share with your friends. Let us know your thoughts on One Piece Season 1 in the comments below. And make sure you come back for more awesome anime content weekly to the Amateur Otaku Podcast. Have it awesome, stay awesome, and keep watching anime. Now, for those that are going to stick around, we're going to take a brief 1-minute intermission, and we're going to go straight into our coverage, not coverage, but shatter on the announcement of Season 2 of One Piece. So stay tuned. We're going to watch that announcement from Oda together, and then we're just going to dream with the One Piece crew. See you in a bit. See you guys. Grab your straw hats and welcome back for more Amateur Otaku Podcast. We are here, Joel, Jamie, Isaac, and myself, Monkey D. Breffy, because we're talking about the fact One Piece got renewed for Season 2. It's official. It's happening. Apparently, the crew is going to need a very good doctor. We have a lot to talk about, and we're going to try and cast some of these amazing characters that are in the vicinity, close to the Straw Hats' journey as they go into Season 2. So let us know what you think about what you hope for Season 2 and what you think the best actors would be for certain characters that we'll mention. We'll try and cast them together, maybe like 5 or 4, because there's a lot of characters coming and a lot of great content for us One Piece fans on Netflix and for you Amateur Otaku fans as we continue to cover Netflix. I recently saw that we hit 181 subscribers. You guys are amazing and awesome. Thank you for the support, and we'll keep doing the content that you love so you keep hanging out. Peace.
I mean, if the medicine is puns, then I'm here.
Oh boy. Oh boy. So we are okay. Well done, Mike. Well done. We are back. So I'm gonna keep this simple, guys. I think the best way to start this Season 2 celebration is by watching the announcement together. Don't you think? So how about we go ahead and do just that? You guys are ready? I'm gonna present it. I'm gonna hit play. We're watching this live.
実写ドラマ版ワンピースシーズン1いかがだったでしょうか。
Yes.
ネットフリックスとトゥモーロースタジオと一緒に長い間制作に取り組んできました。配信された作品を世界中の皆さんが楽しんでくれているようで、制作陣の苦労が報われて本当に良かったと思うし、その甲斐があったと感じます。ワンピースを長年好きでいてくれている皆さん、今回初めてワンピースを楽しんでくれた皆さん、本当にありがとうございます。配信から2週間、とてもいい知らせが届きました。なんとネットフリックスが続編の制作を決定しました。稲木たち実写版麦わらの一味の冒険はまだまだ続きます。脚本が出来上がるまでまだまだ時間がかかりますので、気長にお待ちください。さて、ここから先は麦わらの一味に優秀な繊維が必要になってくる気がします。ご期待ください。
Now, if you think about nails placed in like Oda's got a good head of hair.
Oh, looky.
Yes! Hey, boy!
Yes. So, see, the greatest thing about this, it wasn't just the fact that they used a transponder snail that Tomorrow Studios gifted to Oda, is the fact that he actually drew Tony Chopper on the spot. To me, that was like the nice thing, because he could have just said, oh, they're going to need a good doctor, and that would have been enough. But the fact that the master himself, Oda-san, actually went ahead and drew Chopper, it's great. It's great. And I think this is a great, but I think this is a great topic of conversation. Mike is just throwing hashtag make Chopper a Muppet. So I think
we'll see.
I think before we go into speculation in terms of other things, we know season 2's coming, and we know for a fact that Tony Chopper, the sixth member of seventh crew member, because we're going to talk about the sixth one a little bit. The seventh member to the Straw Hat crew will be joining. Because number 6 is like unofficial, but no, we'll talk about it in a minute. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about this idea. Let's talk about this idea of Tony Chopper, right? But also specifically should he be animatronics? Should he be CGI? Should he be a mixture of both? Or like Mike said, should it be a Muppet? Like, what do you guys think about that? I'm just throwing that out there because it's a valid question.
Yeah. I think it should be a mix of both. I think whatever they did for the transponder snails really works. Mm-hmm. And I'm not sure how it would work if they had to move, but there already is an element of like adding CGI to the transponder snails anyway to make them look just like that much more lifelike. And those are already Muppets. Like we know that they like stick the hand in there and make them like move their mouths and stuff. So Muppet plus CG. Yeah. The Muppet plus CG, I think, is the combo for me.
Okay. Isaac, what do you think? Should he be a Muppet or CGI or both or something in between?
I'm okay with it being either animatronic or CGI or Muppet or CGI, because I don't think you can make him just purely Muppet. Or should I? No, scratch that. In his Chibi form, it should be either animatronic. Yeah,
it is Brain Point, sir. It's a proper name.
I like calling it Chibi too, honestly.
His normal form is Brain Point?
Well, Chibi, that's his normal point is a deer. But he's a deer. But Brain Point is what his favorite.
Well done, sir. Well done, sir.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
But
normal point is a deer.
Because he's a reindeer that ate the devil fruit. That's his normal look.
Yes,
that.
True.
Yeah. Or as they like calling
it, human fruit.
Yeah, walk point.
The deer one for Chopper is deer.
Yeah, but But I digress. I think that it should be a mixture of I don't know, animatronics, CG, or puppet or CG for his. Yeah, I'm going to stick with chibi form. But when he is in his battle form, it should be costume
Muscle.
and CG for what they need to buff up or something like that.
I want a bodybuilder. I mean, like go
Yeah.
for the Hulk.
Get the Rock. Call the Rock. Get him on the phone.
Like, we gotta keep the budget
Makes me
down.
think. This just makes me think of that Saturday Night Live Bambi
Yes,
skit
just
with
like
him as
that.
Bambi. But
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's the way I would
Perfect.
do it.
He knows.
I would-
what
That's
you
the way I
already-
would do it.
Yes.
Have one specific animatronics. It should be in hybrid on both sides. It's just question of. It's all the question of animatronics or puppet for the chibi form, so to speak. And if they do this right, they have their own Baby Yoda on their hands.
That's
Oh, yeah.
I would buy all the merch.
100%. 100%.
Pretty
Well,
money.
Chopper is already that level famous already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the live
Not
action
here
version is just
enough.
gonna.
The US,
Yeah, man,
they
they're
don't
all-
know him really.
Did I show the original design that was meant for Chopper?
The original, I think you did, but remind
It was a
me
lot more
what it
human-like.
was.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That was
maybe you
weird.
didn't
I'm gonna-
then. No, I didn't see that.
I'm gonna-
It's pretty.
Give me a sec.
It's one of those things that you go like, I'm glad that didn't happen.
Yeah.
While
Yeah,
Isaac
sounds
looks
like
for
it.
that, what are your thoughts, Joel? Muppet, CGI, in between. What are your thoughts?
Very tough because I have no idea what they're gonna find out eventually what works best for them. And I would love what, like, in this show we saw, even with the bird in the beginning, but they call it, I forgot the name, those seagulls, the messenger seagulls. or whatever they
Oh
are.
yeah.
That was CGI. There's a lot of animal characters that were CGI-ish.
Right.
And you had to do that with certain people, but you were only using them not the whole time. So you're gonna need something there physically to keep the budget down, right? And he's in his brain point or his chibi form a lot, most of the time. That's his preferred form. That's his doctor form, if you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
Even though he's
so-
a doctor like this,
Like this, yeah.
like with the
He's
little
like,
hoofs.
little hooves. I don't know how he met. Look at him there. Wow.
Oh,
that
you
is
know
weird.
what's crazy? He looks like he walked out of Odd Taxi.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
There's some weird looking folks.
Now that I've seen Odd Taxi, I feel like it's changed my opinion on the way that animal characters should look. Because I'm like, you know what? That's not as cute. He looks like he would be a bit more serious. But
Yeah, it wouldn't have
I'm
worked.
glad we got what we got.
Yeah, it's the same thing like Beastars. Like Beastars works because it looks realistic, but it's still like animals.
yeah.
But yeah, that one right there is too realistic for what we want for Chopper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Who is that creepy guy on the left?
Well, yeah. Is that Frankie? It's weird looking.
That's supposed to be Frankie, yeah.
Oh,
Is it?
No,
That's-
the one. No.
Who
The
is that?
one, the freaky guy, if I'm not mistaken, was supposed to be Robin before we got
Oh
the
my
Pilgrimage
lord.
makeover.
the one next to Zorro?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Wow.
I
that-
can't say that I think the same way, Demetrius.
That's true.
I can't say I can feel the same way. I love
Dude,
Beastars.
come on now. Come on now. I
I'm
can't.
fairly
Come
certain.
on.
I'm fairly
Don't
certain
lie.
that the creepy dude that was supposed to be Robin before he changed it all completely.
I'm glad they changed. I'm glad they
I'm
changed
glad they
that.
changed it too.
Did
Yeah.
they have their names
So-
next to them? Is that what that was on the writing on next?
No.
Yeah, but it has it like in kanji, I think, so you
I
can't
know,
really
but-
get it like translated, bro.
But Jamie knows kanji now, right?
I mean, I know some kanji. I know hiragana and katakana.
There you go. Put that in
So-
Google. We'll find out.
I'm gonna pull up. So I'm gonna go from the point that you said, Joel. Like the idea that the show has found ways to make it work for them for different characters and for different situations, different abilities and stuff like that, right? So they're gonna find what works, what they believe works for Chopper,
Yeah.
right? Now I am 110% on the CGI front, and here's why. and here's why.
Completely.
Yes.
Mm.
Like even if there's a realistic like animatronic or something,
Right.
but that I want it to look realistic
Yeah,
CGI.
yeah.
And here's why I feel that way. After Detective Pikachu,
Well, that's much.
after 3 Guardians of the Galaxy movies,
Right.
where Rocket Raccoon looks as amazing as he does,
Hmm.
there is no reason why Chopper couldn't work.
Right.
And
I
I'm
don't
pretty
disagree.
confident that technology, I don't think that technology is as expensive as it used to be 20, 30 years ago.
That's my issue.
Yeah.
It's
I
still,
don't know.
no, but what I'm saying is, I think they can make it work. But here's my biggest peeve. Here's what I don't want. Because if they do like animatronics and CGI or do more realistic than most, I'm going to be a little gripey. I'm going to be an old man screaming at clouds if I see the change in textures between animatronic and CGI when he changes forms. I
Mm.
want it to always be a smooth transition.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm used to seeing him in like an animatronic base or whatever, and when he changes to a different form, I know it's going to look different. Like for example, with Luffy, you could say, "Oh, but that happened with Luffy too." Yeah, but he's meant to look weird. With Chopper, it's supposed to look organic. It shouldn't look
Still
like
weird, arguably. Deers don't look like that.
agreed. But what I'm saying is, I want to make sure that whatever decision they come up with is every single transformation that he does. Because, for example, if we're gonna see him, number one, and this is gonna be the next topic of conversation, but I'm pretty confident that the Drum Kingdom arc, which is where we meet Chopper, is gonna be the finale of season 2. That's where
What?
season 2 is gonna.
Oh, no.
I'm gonna give you my thoughts, bro. Give me 2 minutes.
No.
Oh.
Now, the reason and if that's the case, I don't want to be thinking about the fact that it's CGI or something else. I want it to be smooth, and I want it to. And there's a lot of transformations in those fights, and I don't know. That's how I feel.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I also think that the costuming and
You're
like
right,
all the
Mike.
work that
You're
we
right. They can't afford it.
yeah.
I don't care.
No. But the costuming and set design that they've done so far, it's really been like a lot of attention to detail, except for Zoro's sword bending in the it was like the first or second episode.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that, so
That was awesome.
for me
That
it was
was
fine. But I think that it would be pretty easy once they found like whatever fur texture they wanted to use, just to like get a whole lot of it and just build out like the chibi form, like the really muscular form, like the deer form, just so that way they keep the same. Oh god.
See, this is what I don't want.
No,
need
no, they wouldn't do that. But I think they could keep it consistent.
That's all I care
think they
about.
could do it.
Consistency.
I think they
Yeah.
can find it. I'd much rather for when he's in his muscle point to be just a person in a suit.
Yeah.
And I think he could be furry, and it's just a costume. He has hands. He looks normal, except he has a blue bill.
Does he have hands when he's like that?
Yeah, his
Oh.
antlers go
Yeah,
into his hat.
So whenever he goes into arm point, he develops human hands to be able to do what he does.
Wow.
Arm point got big ass.
Why doesn't he
spots.
always do that? He has thumbs.
He
I have
prefers
to
the
disagree
TV
with
form.
you,
Huh?
Brandon. I have to agree with you on this one aspect, though.
Like,
Actually,
On what?
they don't confirm a character being included in the show as popular as Chopper if they are just going to introduce him in this season finale. I highly doubt he's just going to be in one episode.
Yeah, I would hope. I would be kind of pissed.
Him being in the
Yeah.
last episode would be sort of like this might be a weird thing to say, but that's Nick Fury in the maybe not exactly the same, but that's Nick Fury coming out of nowhere in the after credits
Spider-Man?
scene for Iron Man
Oh, never mind.
kind of deal. You don't confirm the casting or anything like that. You just show him in the last episode, just as a surprise, sort of there. You don't confirm him and just put him in the last episode.
Yeah,
See, that's not what I'm saying, though. That's not what I'm saying, though.
Oh, okay.
So how about we jump into the next topic then?
All right.
Because we've all shared our thoughts on that. But of course, the topic of the moment that breathes from Chopper is what we'll season 2 cover. Now,
that's a different question.
No, but here's where my thinking is, and the reason I'm thinking this way is because of the frame or because of the what's what I'm looking for. Because of the structure and the adaptation direction that they used for season 1. I'm using that as a base, right?
Okay.
So if they do now, I see a possibility where we might get 2 additional episodes on season 2. I would say it will look better for the show if the next season is 10 episodes. Now,
I mean, they gradually they did more and more seasons for Castlevania as time went on, but just
Right.
because they became a hit.
Yeah, more and
Sure,
more
but-
episodes each season. Yeah.
Yeah,
Now here's-
sure.
now-
Castlevania was way cheaper than this adaptation, but you get my point.
now here's why I think it needs Chopper is going to be, or at least the arc that covers Chopper, it's going to be towards the end, because we have to cover Loketown. Because without doing Loketown, you don't get Barto in the future, and you don't get a proper introduction for Smoker and Shigi.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to have the moment where the new King of the Pirates visits the execution site of the King of the Pirates. Like, that's something that's just iconic.
The future.
I mean,
right? So
there's a difference between at the second half of the show and the season finale, like you said earlier.
No, but see what I mean by season finale. I was talking about this the end of the season. It's going to be another 2 or 3 episodes. You see what I'm saying? Like the final arc of the season towards the finale. That's where Chopper's going to be. That's the way I.
Question.
But that's what I was. That's why I didn't. I didn't
You said
be abundant there because I'm
finale,
explaining it here.
You said season finale, and that's the last episode. Whatever. Continue.
Thank you, Garp. So it's going to start with Loketown and Smoker, and it's going to have that first confrontation with the Smoker and the Straw Hats. After that, we have to do Reverse Mountain and Laboon. Like, you have to do Reverse Mountain because that's how you get into the Grand Line. And you got to do Laboon because that is integral to a future character. Like, you can't do that future character without Laboon. That's the only reason that other character joins the crew. Right?
Yeah.
After that, you have to do Whiskey Peak. You have to. You can't skip it. A lot of people online have talked about, oh, you can skip the whole Whiskey Peak thing. The problem is, if you skip Whiskey Peak, that is the only point of entry to Vivi. So that's where we meet Princess Vivi, which of course is going to be a huge player for the next season 2.5 and season 3 of One Piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
After that, you have to do Little Garden. A lot of people can say that you can skip it, but you can't skip Little Garden. You can't skip Dory and Bragi because giants play a huge role in the world of One Piece. And that is our introduction to giants. So you have to do Dory and Bragi. But not only that, that arc is very important to Usopp and Usopp's relationship to giants. And I didn't mention it in our previous video because it's a gripe, but it's not a gripe. But one of the things that I missed in season 1 is I felt that we didn't really get a lot of Usopp. I wanted more I wanted more Usopp. And like if in Little Garden is a very Usopp centric arc in terms of its character and his relationship to giants. And of course, that's another opportunity to present even more Baroque works, teasers for the future. And then after that, what happens? Drum Kingdom, which is where you get to that place, which the place of ice, and then you take your time to do Dr. Herlock. You do the Drum Kingdom King as the villain. You do the introduction of Chopper. You do all of that until they set out, and then the finale is them setting out for Alabasta. And Alabasta will be the entirety of season 3. I think
that's a lot of arcs.
I don't think you can do that.
What do you mean? What do you think? What do you think you can do?
I think they're gonna condense all that, and then Arabasta will be the majority of season 2.
So here's the thing. Ask me how many chapters they adapted in the first season.
How many?
I want to know if you know.
Oh,
They adapted 95 chapters.
No, read the manga. How many?
95.
95 chapters and 8 episodes. That's why they need 10 this episode.
So, but think about this. Alabasta, a lot of it starts in chapter 147 or 150. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, you could do all of this in season. If you make that season 2, you can dedicate everything because remember, Alabasta is not just about the location. There's a lot of fights that are crucial. There's a bunch of other characters that are crucial.
What are those fights in your season 2?
What do you mean?
What are you fighting in season 2? Who's your main villain?
Well, that's the thing though.
It's just the journey.
Yeah, because what you're talking about, all these arcs and stuff, I'm like, I don't remember nearly half of that.
Fair. But then again, this is one of those seasons in reality that you don't have time to really have a villain, but you have the introduction of the organization that's going to be the villain for season 3. Because Whiskey Pig is the big introduction to Baroque works.
Yeah.
And then you have the battle against Mr. Six, the one that has bomb boogers. Like you have that fight.
I can't wait for that.
Yeah, you have that fight. You in Little Garden, you have the fight against number 3 and the young girl that paints, which you can skip, but you have that. You have the introduction of and think about, and the end of season 2 would be the Drum Kingdom, where you get Chopper in, and then you go to Baroque Works, and you go straight. But here's the thing: throughout the entire season 2, you can introduce Nico Robin, because Miss All Sunday makes an appearance on Whiskey Peak, so you can tease and show Nico Robin. You can start talking about Crocodile. But if you include a bunch of Arabasta stuff in season 2, then you're going to have way too much stuff in a season. Especially unless you're doing a 16-episode season, then that makes some sense.
I think the alternate is not having too much stuff, but probably cutting some stuff. Because
if they cut it, I need something substantial that takes the place of those character building moments that occur during those arcs.
Absolutely.
If they really have something valuable to build up Usopp and his relationship with the giants and all that stuff, they do a better introduction of Vivi or a better introduction of Smoker or stuff like that, then I can see that. But I just don't see how because so many important things happen. So I don't know how you skip it all just to get to Arabasta.
One Piece is
that's the one thing that I think would be not smart, to skip a bunch of character development just to get to the Isle of Sands, where they just walk in sand for like 5 hours.
Well, that's the problem. That's where the condensing comes in.
No, the condensing occurs in Arabasta. But here's the thing, though. If you do Arabasta and you do it right, you got to do all the fights, though. You got to do.
You don't have to, right? I mean,
but do you have? But unless they give you 16 episodes, you don't have enough.
Well, I said that about the first season, and look how they condensed it to 8. They cut out Don Krieg. I wasn't expecting.
True.
That was like
correct, but does Don Krieg have any significant character development for any characters?
No, well, not really. But it's one of those things where it's gonna happen. We're just gonna have
Yeah.
to live with it. Sutton's
True.
getting cut.
I think
He's gonna be
Chopper
mayor.
does show up at least halfway through the season, or I'm gonna be
Chopper,
angry.
I had them. I imagine Logetown. Let me see. Hold on, I got it right here actually. Nope, that's not it. All right. So you said we have because I thought they fit in Logetown at the end of season 1, but they didn't. I thought that's where.
But which they didn't include it for the same reason that you said. Like it wouldn't make story sense
Yeah, they ended it where
based on how they ended with Arlong as the big villain.
Yeah,
or whatever.
I get that. I mean, because you
Yeah.
can't leave it that open ended. But they did tease it with Smoker at the end, right? So
Right.
they're probably gonna.
Oh, by the way, great tease.
Yeah, I love that tease. That was a nice little nod for people that know who that is. I can't wait.
Right.
Logetown, you have Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, and Little Garden. I really believe that's all going to get condensed into like 2 episodes at most.
You mean the Logtown?
No, Logetown. Well, between Logetown, Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, and Little Garden, that'll probably be 2 or 3 episodes. That's what I imagine, honestly.
Well, that's the thing. I think that the first 3 episodes will be that. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah, and then the rest is Arabasta. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So no Little
4,
Garden
9, 10.
and no Drum Kingdom.
No, I think Drum Island will be. Hold on, it'll be Reverse Mountain, Whiskey Peak, Little Garden, and Logetown.
So those, I
4.
agree. 1, 2, and 3 would be those 3 things and move on.
Right.
I agree 100%.
Drum Island will probably get condensed to 2. And if that's the case, maybe if you're lucky, we get an extended season where you get maybe 10 episodes and then the rest is Arabasta. Or they sprinkle in Arabasta throughout all of it. And then only the main parts of Arabasta we see. Because that's that's the first time they run into Ace, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a lot of big things that happen in Arabasta.
And that's what I'm saying.
A big chunk
part
of
of me as a fan thinks like, again, I'm being selfish. I 100% agree. Part of me thinks that I'm willing to go through a great season of character development to get the payoff of spending time in Arabasta in season 3. I'm okay with that. Now, if they find a way of condensing it and making it work, hey, they made it work with the first season. Kudos if they do it with season 2. I would love that. But I kind of like the idea of season 3 being a setting. This is the entire Arabasta arc. We spend time with Ace in the desert. We deal with the rebels and everything happening on the side. You have the legendary fight between Bon Clay and Sanji. You get all of that.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And then the end of season 3 is a tease. Because think about this: if they get rid of all this like little arcs here, season 3 can be Arabasta. Season 4 can be Skypiea. Season 6 can be, you can actually condense it to those things. Season 5 can be Water 7
and be 2. Yeah, because no, I agree. Well, to me, Arabasta would be the majority of season 2. Then you'd have Skypiea 3, Water 7, 4, and obviously you're already combining certain smaller arcs in between. And then you'd probably get Thriller Bark and the Archeolop, whatever, the one of the rich people area, and then you have the Marine Fort. That's all. That's where things get tricky because I think you might have to combine Thriller Bark and something else. But we're gonna have to wait and see. But shit's gonna get cut, and the problem is like before Skypiea, you have the Jaya thing, whatever, and I'm not sure what's gonna happen with that.
No, but you can do Jaya. Jaya technically is the beginning of the Skypiea arc.
Right. Yeah. So, but
if you have a 10, 12 episode season, you can do Jaya for the first 4 episodes, and the rest of the season is.
That's why I hope it does become 10 because I think 8 was. I think if there's any issues with the first season, then they probably needed another episode or 2.
Yeah.
If you ask
flesh
me,
it out, right?
Go, Jamie, go.
I put 12 episodes for season 2.
But yeah.
Because she wants Chopper on 7 of those episodes.
I want Chopper as much as possible.
Before the middle of the season, I hopefully get Chopper.
Yeah, I'm thinking at least middle of the season. I'm like, I'm going to start looking for him. I want you to see him.
I mean, that's one thing that they could do.
Show him at the end, until the end.
See, but
at least run through the background or something.
But that's, it's funny because that's one thing that they could do and maybe make it work. One of the things that they could do is move islands around. What if we do Drum Kingdom before, and we finish with Whiskey Peak and other things? You know what I mean? Like, because for example, what if the ending of the season is direct confrontations with agents of Baroque Works
Yeah, I mean
to
that
then
could work.
follow up to, you know what I mean?
I mean,
To then follow
that
up
way
to.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Isaac, you're still here?
Yes, I'm still here. I was just gonna say that could be that could be a way that it could introduce Chopper for the majority of the season while still covering the amount they have. If they maybe start with his arc and just reshuffle.
Yeah,
because they're going to give us a B plot.
What if they start the season where it's like they're in media res, it's in the middle, Chopper's there, everything's crazy, and then they go back to the beginning. They go back to where they left off in season 1.
No, because all they do is go forward and go back. Okay.
There's no going back, Jamie.
Just mix it up.
You go up reverse mountain. There's no reverse.
Jamie got that energy. He's like, give me Chopper, damn it.
Yeah, Chopper every episode. Let's do it.
The end to get Chopper, but we'll see. I mean, that's going to be the fun part, is seeing how they make this all work.
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah. See, and that's the whole thing. I
just want Mommy Robin.
Because that's the thing. We're gonna go into the casting
to
wrap this up in a minute.
Yeah.
But one of the things is this: my favorite thing of the announcement wasn't the Chopper thing. Like, that's my inner fan going, Chopper! But at the same time, my fan inside is going also, wait, Oda just said that the scripts need work.
Of course.
Because we know that he was heavily involved with the scripts of the first season.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of like in the mindset also of we trust in Oda-san.
Yes.
Like, everything that's gonna come on screen, he gave the okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I find it hilarious. Like, they went to him. There's this article that they went to him and asked him, "Hey, is there electricity in the One Piece universe?" And he didn't know the answer because he never thought about it.
Yeah.
And then he came back. Yes, there's electricity.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Yeah, it's one of, but the fact that he like in details like that, he's involved.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how involved and ingrained in the process he is.
Yeah.
So if he approves of a decision, but at the same time, the fact that he's able to veto certain decisions because he wants things a certain way, I also kind of want that. And like, for example, in my mind, and what I've learned as a One Piece fan is that one thing Oda does, and he's never missed, not once, his payoffs always pay off. Like, all the buildup that he does, it always pays off. So, like I said, I mean, I everything y'all say has 100% merit, especially Jamie. About one day, maybe this seagull just drops this random reindeer into the boat, and there's Chopper, like a stork.
His background is so important to Chopper. You need at least the origin.
Yeah, because, and then that's the thing, bro. Like that you got to spend at least 2.5 to 3 episodes at Drum Kingdom.
Not 2.
Going at least 2. At least 2.
I don't know about that.
You got to do Dr. Hero look. You got to do Korea. You got to do the fight against those drum bastards. Because remember, it's not just the fact that it's the Drum Kingdom, you meet Chopper. It's an island where they've completely eradicated healthcare.
Yes.
Because they've privatized all healthcare to the king. And nobody can practice medicine. So it's like there's a lot of more, like, of course, they don't have to go that deep like Oda went. But you know what I mean? Like,
but he'll be there to guide them, like, here. It could be an episode or 2. That's what I mean. Like, I don't know. It's really hard because you have to look at this and see what we can keep, what can't we keep.
I'm glad it's not my job.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to be involved, like really breaking it down.
Yes.
But
it'll be awesome.
It's tough. It's a tough job. It really is. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're the creator and you're like, I don't want to cut anything.
Put it all in.
No, we have to do it all.
My thing with that is that there's a third season is not promised, and you can't just.
True.
That's where my fear.
But see, I don't disagree with you. But that would be a mistake, though.
I agree, but
and that's the one thing that they. But that's the one. No, but that's the thing they didn't do here. They didn't overstuff season 1 because they didn't know they're gonna get in the season. You know what I mean? And that's one of the reasons why season 1 was so great, because they didn't overstuff it. And that's what I don't want them to do. I don't want them to overstuff season 2, where it loses its direction and its identity. You know what I mean?
That's big. But you're trying to keep everything, and that's the problem. Like they're not going to keep everything. The things are.
I want to keep going forever.
And I would love them to go on for like the 12 seasons that they want to do.
Yeah, man.
I'll get half. If we get half, I'll be happy. You know what I mean?
Hey, if we get all the way to pre-time skip, I'm good, bro.
Same.
I'm good.
Same.
I'm good. Did we find the One Piece? No, we didn't.
I still don't care.
I mean, that's still true.
That
that's still true for manga readers and anime. So,
I mean,
Isaac, how would you do it? What would you do?
I would shuffle around for reasons of getting shopper early, and I don't know what I would condense or cut here because it was been a while since I read it all, but we have to accept that they will cut / condense or maybe even fuse 1 or 2 of the arcs together. We have to accept that. It's just a question of how or which. And also, speaking of not finishing an all thing, it can't be worse than the 4Kids dub where they basically kills off the entire crew in the last episode of that dub. Yes, they do.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, the and so that they might as well.
Bruh.
They talk about how they find something that basically kills them.
Bruh.
The history of the 4Kids dub for One Piece is just insane.
It's trash. Let's call it what it is.
You see, what I was also going to say, I'm good with the fact. Let's say that the final shot of season 2 is them setting foot in Arabasta, and you see the desert lands and whatever, and then the character tease is Ace. You know what I mean?
That's a much better ending.
I'm good with that. But it's funny because think about this also. The big event or the big villain, it was Arlong. But the final battle wasn't really Arlong. It was closing out that Garp plot. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So it's, I don't know, bro.
That wasn't a battle.
But you're right.
But
you're right. You're right. I want everything.
Yeah, it's hard.
I'm finding ways to make everything work. Damn it. I'm greedy. I know.
No, but it's funny because when I mapped it out in my head, I'm like, I
need to see them giants.
I don't expect the Giants, but they might tease the Giants, but I don't know if they're going to actually. We're not going to have a whole episode with them.
Okay, so I'm going to say something. Here's why the Giants are important. Not just because of Usopp. Because that relationship that starts with them echoes in Ina's lobby. That's 1. And 2, you're not there yet. But this is not the last time we see Boggy and Groggy.
Oh.
Just saying, bro.
Yeah.
Just saying.
I mean, that's like, if I'm not there yet, they're not getting there anytime soon.
You're not wrong. You are not wrong. So we talked about how we foresee or hope or think season 2, what season 2 is going to cover. But now we got to talk about some casting. So we're going to try and do this and be civil about it. But so here's the thing. There's a lot of characters, but I figure that the biggest ones are the ones pertaining to the shopper arc. But there's a couple that I want to throw out there. So the first one, of course, we got to cast Chopper, or at least the person that'll do the voice for Chopper, right? That's
Mhm.
one. Because you can do, like I said, you can do the Guardians of the Galaxy thing, where you had a regular person do the motion capture for Rocket, right? And then you have someone else doing the voice, which is Bradley Cooper, which I always found hilarious and
It is.
amazing. So you got Chopper, you got Dr. Harlock, you got Kureha, you got Princess Vivi, you got Crocodile, you got Smoker, Tashigi, and Robin. I think those are the only ones. So let's start with the first one. If you were to cast someone as Chopper, who would you cast, Jamie, to do the voice for Chopper?
I actually picked the English VA, Brina Palencia, I think is how you say her name. I picked her as the voice for Chopper because she is Chopper. And I felt like
wow,
yeah,
that's kind of a cop out, but
I
okay.
felt like somebody from the like English VA side or like the Japanese VA side should have been in the show anyway, at least just as like a cameo or something. So it was a little bit of a cop out, but at the same time, I'm like, I would be happy if it was her. So I picked her.
So her name is, what's her name?
It's
Brina Palencia.
Palencia, yes.
So she's the actual voice of
Yep,
Tony
she's the
Tony
actual
Chopper.
voice of Tony Chopper, the English dub.
Dub Chopper. It does make sense. They did that with Tails, right?
Yes.
They did.
Yes, they did. They did do that with Tails.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
Yep.
against that at all.
So here's a
Same.
picture
I
of
don't know her voice because I don't only watch it.
here's a picture of her pick,
clips.
Brina Palencia.
We could have
Okay.
picked a better one, but
So what you're trying to say is that Chopper can play Chopper.
yeah,
Okay.
I don't see why
That
not.
makes all the sense in the world.
No.
That is so bad. Okay. That
I
works.
mean,
Okay, so what do you think? Do you agree?
You should have chopped up this message because you're repeating yourself.
Yes. Well, I don't have the shop fruit. Who should they vote? Who should it be, in your opinion? Joel, do you have opinions on this, or would you stick with the same one?
I have not. I like it. If they go that direction, I think it'd be clever. Because like I said, they did it with Tails, and it works. Why not? So I changed something. That'd be a fun little thing for the fans of the dub and stuff. Like, I wouldn't know because I never watch it dub, so I don't. I don't even know what he sounds like in dub.
It's cute.
I bet because regular Japanese version sounds cute too. So I imagine they sound similar. I'm cool with that, but if they want to go a different route, could they go the route of like an actual child actor and have him grow up with the role? Like, even like, you know what I mean?
See, the only issue with that is that, remember, in One Piece years,
It's only 2 years. I know.
So it's kind of like they're not supposed to grow that much, even though everybody's going to grow a lot.
Eventually, yeah. That's why time is going to change at some point.
Yeah, that could be. I mean, that could be.
I'm not against that if that's what happens. But I'm also fine because he's always in his brain point, GB point, right? It's not going to be that bad. Everyone's going to get used to it. I'm cool with that. And look, I want him to consistently have that voice too. Even when he's in his muscle point, I want him to sound like his GB form because that's consistent with the show.
Yes, 100%. 100%. What are your thoughts, Isaac?
I was gonna choose the same as Jamie because I think that the voice actors should get more recognitions in Hollywood. And
Fair.
Chopper is the perfect choice of doing that.
Yeah, you don't need a big actor for that. For a voice. No.
See, I don't disagree with any of y'all, but I did think about Miss Tara Strong, just because she's voiced everybody's childhood and how big Chopper is going to be, and also kind of how, in a way, the live action is kind of distancing themselves from the anime.
Mm-hmm.
So I could totally see someone of this caliber doing it. But I like all the choices you guys have said. I do like those choices.
That's the hardest one for me because I don't know anybody off the top of my head, like
Yeah.
an actual actor or a voice actor, like that, because that's really where it matters, right? The voice actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's not hard.
So
Squeaky voice.
so who would you cast? So let's go to the next one. Who would you cast as the Mad Doctor, Dr. Haralook, who wants to bring cherry blossoms to this winterland? Who would you cast as Dr. Haralook?
That's a hard one. Whoever they cast will be.
I mean, let me put a visual of this crazy bastard.
He's a quack.
He's a quacker.
Get his hair right, and I don't care who it is.
I love how you say just get his hair right, damn it.
I
That's
don't
so
want to be
funny.
reminded of Timmy Bubbles' heart. I guess good point.
So let me put a picture here of the doctor. I already have an idea, so I'll go with mine first. But here's the doctor. No, that's not it. That's horrible. I'm just gonna do this. It's easier. So here's Dr. Haralook. This is how he looks. So
Yep.
so I'm gonna say this because I think it's the name that everybody knows. Well, Mike said something about Chopper that makes sense. Mike says on the chat, Chopper needs a distinct voice. I don't want to be reminded of Timmy, Bubbles, or Harley. Fair.
Fair.
But she's very versatile,
Timmy?
though, so she
I
can
didn't even know she did Timmy.
Or Raven.
Well, there you go. But there you go.
Yeah.
She's very versatile. She can do
Yeah,
something
she-
different. But
I
fair.
didn't-
But it's fair.
She did do Raven,
So-
sure.
Mhm.
So, correct. So here's who I see as Dr. Haralook. Again, it's too big of a name. I know.
That's my
But
issue.
you can
It's
you
hard.
can book him. But you
Yeah,
can
it's
book
not-
him for one
It's not a
episode.
big role.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
it's not big- right. It's not a big
Like the
role.
whole thing with Jamie Lee Curtis playing
Right.
Dr. Correa, which again,
Exactly.
if it happens, I will love it to
Awesome.
happen. And it makes sense because you can get that huge actress for like an episode or two. You don't need her
she's
for
a
the whole
fan.
season.
Right.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And she said
But-
she's down, so I feel like
Right.
she would do
She's
it.
down.
She would stay for a few episodes.
Yes.
Requested it.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
So I would love to see Pure Capaldi play Dr. Haralook.
I'm gonna need a face.
Okay. So I'll find a face and I'll throw him in your face. In everybody's faces. I have faces. This guy.
Oh, that is a big. Oh, Peter Capaldi. Oh, I didn't hear you. I thought I didn't, or else I would have. Oh,
I mean,
like it. That's
I
a big
think
deal.
he would be great as Dr. Haralook because he
he's
has the
Doctor
look.
Who? Is that why?
Well, I mean, hey, it's not just because he's Doctor Who, but then again, he has the body. You know
Oh,
what I
yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
He looks like Haralook kind of looks. He has the build. He can
Yeah.
play kind of a nuts, happy person. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Just put that crazy cross-looking wig and let's just go,
Oh.
bro.
With the top hat. Perfect. I can see it.
Can you guys see it? Can you see it?
I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I
see
figure.
it.
Can they get him? I don't
So
know.
I think we can all skip Dr. Correa because I think we all agree that it's Jamie Lee or bust, right? Like it at this point,
Jamie needs to
it
play.
it needs to be her.
Make
So I think we need to go to before we go to you, Joel, because I know you already said that you already have one in mind for Nico.
Yeah, I do.
I think this one may be a little easier. So let's just
Doctor also,
Oh.
go.
and it's also a Who Doctor. Honestly,
Oh.
that might be a bit cheaper. I don't know, maybe maybe no.
Let's know. Man.
I love how you're looking for actors based on their price point. I love it.
No. Tennant.
David
David
Tennant.
Tennant. Yes.
He would be great. Yes, he would be great. Agreed. 100% agreed. Nefertari. So let's think about who could play Princess Nefertari Vivi.
That's even tougher. There's so many women that probably could pull it off. How
Now,
old
now
is
let's
I
go
forget.
with this. I do want to ask this question. Do you think that with Vivi,
Mm-hmm.
because it's a character that's from the desert and all that stuff,
I get where
do
you're
you
going.
think we go like with a Middle Eastern casting as opposed to
As long as she
how
has
they
her blue
portray
hair.
her?
Off.
Nojiko had her blue hair too. It don't matter.
Right? That's what
Yeah,
I mean. If you
yeah.
give me the hair, I won't complain as much.
So in other words, it's all about the hair. That's
It
needs
really
to
is not that difficult. They
Why are
did
we
it in the
seeing ads?
show.
I don't want to see ads.
Yes, it's
You guys
all
just want me
about
to
the
share it.
makeup.
Yeah, I won't share it. So everybody knows who Vivi is. But
Yes, yes.
so who would you cast as now? Vivi is maybe what, 17 or 16 when the Straw Hats?
16 and the pre-time skip.
16. So Isaac, would you cast anyone as Vivi? Do you have anyone in mind?
I mean,
that you would
it
cast as Vivi?
depends on. I'm not so sure.
Don't say
who
Anna de
really-
Armas.
No, I would actually not say the Anna de Armas. Because I would actually put her as Nico Robin, but if I had to put her as something,
Whoa, too big an actress, but yes, that'd be great.
she's
Damn.
not on my fan casting list. But if I had to pick her as something, it would be Nico Robin. But I digress. I'm not so sure on who I would put as a Weave if they want to do her age appropriately. But if they allow themselves to maybe age her up to maybe 20, 23 or something, I would go with Naomi Scott. Jasmine in the live action Aladdin movie.
Oh.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. I think I mean
She's not
that would
that big of
would
an
only make
actress.
sense. Yeah, but that would only make sense if they go older.
Yeah,
Like if they go a little older, then yes.
Especially now.
But if they're trying to keep, I mean, we're probably all going to be surprised because it's going to be
100%.
because
someone that we don't know, that we never imagined. Similar to what happened with, I think when it comes to like main characters, Straw Hat characters, it's going to be people we've never heard of.
Probably.
Very
That's like
possible.
I said, the original that cast. When they got cast, I was like, I don't know who. And only eventually, I did see Inaki in one thing before that, but that's it. Everyone else I never heard of.
The only one I
Yep.
recognize was Makanea and the Zoro kid, but
Yeah.
that's because of the.
Oh, it's right. I forgot him. I knew him from Kenshin. Oh, and Nami.
those movies
I saw
are
her in Fear Street. I'm sorry. I did see her. I forgot. Oh, and Hunters. She's in Hunters. The last season. My bad.
That's an interesting choice. The girl that plays Miss Marvel.
Does Marvel herself?
But does she got time for that though?
Yeah, really.
She's
That's-
writing the comic books now too.
I have a
That
lazy
that
casting
right
choice.
there, that right there will be fun. Yeah, Iman Vellani, right?
Yep, that's her name.
Yeah, she would be cool.
I got a lazy casting choice, and it works. Go ahead.
See, with Iman Vellani is interesting because it would be against type.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In terms of the type of roles that we've seen, like Iman Vellani plays Miss Marvel in a very specific way,
Yeah.
and Princess Vivi is no
Not like
way
her.
the same character. Like Princess Vivi is a lot more like composed, like a princess, like legitimate princess.
Mhm.
So yeah, she could definitely do it. 100%. Miss Marvel as Princess Vivi.
Interesting choice.
Mhm.
They're courting you, Joel.
I'm just saying.
Simple as that.
That's really it.
Simple as that.
Just
Yeah.
saying. I'm very open.
Okay, so Joel, this is your time to shine.
Yeah.
It's probably not going to be anyone we think.
No, it's not.
But it is
it's not.
your
Even the person I'm
Nico
also
Robin. Oh wait. We can't spoil. So I'm just gonna throw this out there.
Go ahead.
I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, but I don't care.
What?
Casting Miss All Sunday and Nico Robin. So who was your pick? You said you had a pick.
I had a pick. It's changed obviously I had an original pick, but now we're a couple of years removed from that, so she might be too. I don't even know how old Robin is. In
Robin, I think is like third. She's probably like 28.
She's around the 30.
or late 20s or whatever.
Yeah, she's 28, 30 post time skip. So
Okay.
so you're looking at someone in their late 20s.
Okay. Yeah, I was back in the day. My fan casting for Robin was Priyanka Chopra.
Bet.
I liked it.
Bet.
I'm like, that would be great. I don't know why. I just saw it, but I'm like, maybe it's too late for that. They go with someone more recent. And honestly, I saw someone else fan caster, and I'm like, this is a good one. And I'm like, Anya Chalotra Yennefer from The Witcher. I'm like, she looks just like her. I'm like,
Yes.
That's a good choice.
and she's in Netflix family. It just makes sense, right?
Okay.
Connect the dots.
See, now I don't want to say the one that I found just now. I don't want to say it now.
Oh, you got one?
Oh, no, yes, say it.
I haven't seen her act in like a long time. The manga ages clearly don't matter.
I mean,
Yes, they do to a degree. Damn it.
They do to a degree, like you said.
Everyone besides Inaki is
Agreed.
in their 30s.
They're all like mid-20s, right? Something like that.
No,
Inyaki's 19.
Oh, that's right. Inyaki's the
I
youngest.
was talking.
Oh, he's 20.
Inaki's here.
I just looked up. He's 20.
He just turned 20.
The other one is.
Hey, Virgo, let's go.
Oh my God, she is 30. I had no idea.
Team Virgo.
So
anyway, on your
it's just because I'm gonna be honest. I'm only thinking because I've seen her play a sophisticated women role with a bite. Sophie Turner.
Oh wow. For Robin.
Yes.
Are you talking Ian Gray?
Yes. But I'm thinking about when she played, I remember whatever Stark daughter she played in Game of Thrones. Like I'm thinking about that performance. Because she has the look like in every, and she has the acting capacity to do, you know what I mean? Like because you know what scene I'm thinking about, Joe. You know exactly what's like. She can pull that off. You know what I mean?
I'm not saying she
so that's some kind of like that's the one that I'm thinking about for All Sunday. And she can play mystery because she was very treacherous and stuff like that in Game of Thrones as well. Like she knows how to play that duality.
She can play both sides of it, yeah, for sure.
Right. So she has the chops, she has the look, so I kind of like her a lot for that. Correct. Ever since she married the Jonah guy, she hasn't really done anything.
Well, they're not together anymore.
I just heard about
well, she's still not doing anything.
Yeah.
My original pick married the other.
Then again,
brother,
does she? So, does she need to after that Game of Thrones money? I don't know.
She's.
I mean, it depends on those residuals. Apparently,
she even got a little bit of X-Men money, so why not? She's good.
Oh my God.
Even if it's bad X-Men money.
Yeah. Money.
That's blood X-Men money. Dirty.
Do you guys have anything else for Nico?
Those are my two. It's funny because I think this girl would have been a good Vivi if they went in that direction. Freya Allen.
Which one?
Who was also from The Witcher. I'm like, she would have been a good Vivi.
The one that plays Siri?
Siri?
The young girl?
Siri, yeah, plays Siri.
Yes. 100%. I mean, she's been playing a princess for the last 3 seasons.
So the same role, more or less.
Yeah.
You can just hey, like you said, just give her the hair.
So I'm pretty sure her hair in that show is not real anyway. So
Damn.
Just saying.
So let's see what else we got here.
Who else?
I think that's it. Well, we got to do one more. At least one more. Because we don't know if we're getting giants. We got to do one more. Because we don't know if that was just a shot for a teaser because we didn't see the guy's face. We got to cast Smoker.
Yeah.
We got to cast Smoker.
That's tough.
So, because Toshigi don't matter. But what matters is Smoker. So, Isaac, if you were to cast Smoker, who would you cast?
I honestly don't.
It's tough.
What?
It's becoming Garp.
Oh,
I mean-
buddy, you have no idea, brother. You have no idea.
I mean, he's in his mid-30s, so can I? Can you come back to me? Give me.
Jamie, did you ever get a chance to see Smoker?
I did, but I'm so horrible with casting, so you're gonna have to skip me. I'm better with agreeing with people on their casting, agreeing or disagreeing.
Normally disagrees with my casting based on fact.
No, I didn't disagree. I just thought there were better options.
Cleavon's options.
So who would you cast as Smoker, Mr. Joel?
That's tough, man. I never thought about it, so I have no idea. Because I think whoever they cast will not be as old as Smoker actually looks. Because he's not as old as he looks. You know what I mean?
Possibly,
but he has white hair.
I mean, Smoker's like what, like 28 or something?
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's not as old as he looks. He has white hair.
Stop smoking.
Bleach blonde. Maybe that's what it is.
Oh,
But he
it's
looks
just
older than he actually is. That's my thing.
I say Steve Buscemi for Smoke. No, I'm kidding.
No, what are you saying? You're insane.
You know what?
I don't know. Good question. I don't know, bro.
I do recall one thing though, but I don't. It's not my fan casting. I know that some apparently are calling for Henry Cavill as Smoker.
Oh, that's not bad, but he's way too big.
Yeah, exactly.
He's too old too. Like I don't think that would.
He's getting there too.
Oh no, you get to look
But he
at
can do
Henry
it.
Cavill.
Do it. It's not a bad idea.
Sounds kind of good.
No, you know what?
Jamie,
speak of
keep your head in the
Superman.
game.
Speak of Superman actors.
It's in the only game that matters right now, Brendan.
Speak of Superman actors, who's not that big right now.
Who's that?
Tom Welling.
That's
Honestly,
He's too old though.
he is old.
He's
but
too
it's
old
not
for
bad.
Smoker though.
No.
He could play younger. Not much younger.
Not much young. Not Smoker younger.
No, that's funny though.
Oh,
you know-
look at Smoker. You're like,
I know. You know who can do it?
Hmm.
Um,
I want to show the audience
the guy that plays the Red Ranger in the Power Rangers reboot. The one that plays Sam's brother in Stranger Things.
Yeah. Oh man, forget his name.
That guy.
I mean, Smoker is supposed to be 34, not in his early 20s.
All right.
So I don't see how Welling is too old. But yeah, that's
the lifeguard guy?
Good.
Yes.
Like,
What's his name?
yes, that guy. Because he can play
What
older.
is his name?
You know what? He's been out of the limelight for a while. I've forgotten. But he's a fan cast for so many characters at this for a while. You know.
Yeah. What is his name?
Why
Why don't we know people's names anymore?
You know who knows?
I
People's
definitely
names not
never
matter?
do.
Decray Montgomery.
Okay.
Taker or Dacre?
AKA Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
Billy.
He might be too short. Smoker, I always imagine, is taller.
Well, I mean, he's always turning into smoke. Does his height matter?
A little bit. He's standing next to it. He has to tell me you got to tower over Luffy. You know what I mean?
Well, he's
You can put him on some
I think
stilts.
he's old enough. Yeah, I think he's
He
good.
is. He's 28. Wow. It's probably
Yeah,
younger than
and
probably-
he has the big wide jaw that you would expect from Smoker. You know what I mean? Hopefully he doesn't get, cancer from a roll, but it's a lot of cigars. But yeah, like
fake it maybe.
I can see it. I can see it for Smoker. I can see him. I don't know, guys.
I'm gonna be paying attention to more Netflix shows because I know it's probably gonna be someone that's been on Netflix at some point.
You think like someone has already worked with the institution?
Yeah, someone that's connected. Well, like I said, like 3 of them I've seen.
Anthony Mackie.
We're talking about Smoker, not smoking hot. Okay.
Oh well, I
mean,
would
that
not put him
being
in
said,
that
Smoker
category.
always has like his jacket
stressed
showing his
out.
abs.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, he's too big too, Anthony Mackie. It's just you got to be within reason because you need the budget to go towards Chopper.
No, but the only thing is, like, we got to pick someone that's gonna be there for the long run, right?
Yeah, he's gonna.
Because
To me, he's
Smoker-
gonna take. He's taken over the B plot that they gave to Garp.
Yes.
You know, it'll be him and what's his friend, his partner. I always forget her name.
So Mike says Steve Harrington, which
No.
again we're talking about actor Joe Carey. No, bro. No.
No.
Oh, freaking the
I'm not
the
even
kid that
pulling up the
plays
picture, bro.
Dustin.
Yeah,
He had a prank show on Netflix for a little bit.
the kid that plays Dustin. No.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
you sure?
We've lost control. Of the
Smoker is a young
Oh, boy.
teen now in the Marines.
two
Welcome.
cigars. He's a heavy smoker.
Okay, guys. I think we've done enough. We've done enough. We gave a little fan casting.
Kidding.
We talked about Mike. That is what we said, but you understand what we meant, Mike.
You know what smoker
I
is, don't you,
understand.
Mike?
I was naming everybody I could.
So we've done the thing, guys. We talked about casting in season 2. We talked of how they may structure it. We celebrated the renewal and the fact that 2020 Shopper is going to be in from episode 1, dropped by a stork, according to Jamie's retelling of One Piece.
Delivery.
Yeah.
If you love what we do here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast, make sure you click on that like button, you subscribe, you let us know in the comments what you love, what you like, and what you want to see in season 2 of One Piece. Maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe you have the key of breaking down how it's going to be adapted. I don't know. Let us know in the comments below.
Yeah. Curious.
So,
Show
Joel?
us how we're wrong.
Awesome having you on the show, bro.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is a great time.
Is there anything you got going on that you want to share? Anything
Nothing
else on the podcast?
Just on Instagram, on Twitter, at that tag right there, Joel_J27 on both of them. So if you look
Awesome.
for me on social media, that's where I'm at.
Bet. You guys are awesome. We will see you next time here at the Amateur Otaku Podcast. Next week, we are talking about a show, which I forgot the name. But don't worry, we're talking about a show. You'll know soon enough what it is because we'll see it and we'll let you know what it is. You guys are awesome. Stay awesome and keep watching anime. And we're going to be King of the Pirates. Have it awesome, guys. Peace.
Peace.